This game came out of the blue to me. I didn't expect to like it. I didn't even really ever plan to play it. I just spotted there was a free demo and I saw so many people talking about it, I thought I'd check it out. And I was so hooked. I've actually been preparing this video for a couple of weeks because it's very hard to pitch just how good it is without you experiencing it. And I like it so much, I wanted to do it justice. So here we go. I'm going to do my best to tell you about Dave the Diver. I am of course going to avoid any spoilers going forward as well, so please don't fear. Available on Switch and PC. This comes from a small studio that's part of a big company, so I can't call it an indie, but you can see the style and the inspiration there. First of all, it looks absolutely brilliant, semi-pixel art style. You can see the pixel art much more clearly in the cutscenes. And your role is Dave, a slightly overweight diver. Your buddy gets you involved in a restaurant of his where you go diving by day and then you run the sushi restaurant at night using what you caught as the ingredients. This is more of an action RPG, in my humble opinion, than anything else. First of all, the setting is brilliant. The big blue hole, as it's described as and named as in the game, changes. So no one dive is exactly the same in the same day. The flora changes, the creatures down there change, even the layout does. And this is all about exploration, which is of course done in the deep blue briny sea. You'll explore more and more as you progress along the story, as you upgrade your gear so you can dive for longer, dive deeper. I'm sure you expected that. But you won't expect what's found down there. Now I'm not going to go into any detail because, as I said, I try and avoid spoilers. But the story, whilst a little bit bonkers at times, is really, really charming. And all the gameplay mechanics are done smoothly and brilliantly. First of all, I'm going to talk to you about the bit that you probably think isn't much fun. And that's the running of the restaurant. Because it's a very quick part of the game and serves as a nice break and change of pace in between the action of when you're diving. And I actually found myself really, really enjoying it. You're running a restaurant with a chef called Banco. Now, his name's spelt B-A-N-C-H-O, so it's either Banco, Bancho, I'm going with Banco. A master chef with his own dark past, which you'll discover as you go along. As you provide him higher quality ingredients, he'll then be able to develop more and more ingenious dishes to delight, amaze and astound the customers with, and charge more money for. One thing I will say, when you're in the restaurant, this is not a spoiler, it's a tip. As soon as you're able to hire staff, do so, it will make life infinitely easier. And also, when you get your VIP customers looking for a certain dish, do that as quick as you can because that generally unlocks different mechanics within the game, making it more fun. I like running the restaurant, dashing around with the plates, keeping an eye on the staff, topping up the wasabi, setting the menu, seeing what I've caught and how it translates into higher and higher prices. It only lasts for a couple of minutes, but it's a real nice change of pace. Relatively unique, at least in the way it's done, and really good fun. But that's not, of course, the main part. The main part is the diving. As I've already mentioned, the deep blue hole is an absolutely superb setting, and it never ever gets boring. There's loads to collect down there, be it seaweed and other aquatic plants to use within your recipes, different types of fish, and you will find aggressive fish as well. The deeper down you go, the further into the game you go, you'll come across all sorts of sharks, sailfish, narwhals. It's really quite interesting, and they do have their own attacking styles as well, which if you don't twig onto quite quickly, they will sink you. But that's part of the fun, part of the challenge. You go down there with your trusty diving knife, your harpoon, which you can upgrade on land to make it more powerful, and you can get elemental tips down there, such as making it fire, lightning or poison, which will inflict more damage upon your prey, and a gun. As the story goes through, you'll find more and more guns. When you find 3 or 4 down there, you'll have the blueprint to make your own, so you can start off with it. This is again fully upgradable as well. So you're equipped, you're ready. You can take on anything that comes at you, eventually. And you will need every one of these tools in your arsenal, because as you progress through the game and through the story, you will encounter boss battles. These can either be gigantic, scary sea creatures, or some radical environmentalists who are completely mental, as all radical environmentalists are, I'm sure you know. It's challenging, but not too difficult, so it becomes frustrating. The perfect balance for me. And the things you find down there that lead you into the, as I already said, bonkers story, you'll want to see what's happening again and again and again. You'll keep going down there for the story. It's just such good fun. You can also find scrap down there that you can use for crafting, things you can sell. There are, as you go down there as well, oxygen reservoirs, so don't worry about having to dash to the top all the time. And there are even escape pods as well, so they've taken away the potentially boring part of having to go back to the boat, because you don't have to. I like exploring it, challenging myself in the tidal caves, not to get stung on the spiky things, finding lobsters and crabs with my traps, all different types of fish, trying to remember which ones sell for the most, which ones I'm short of stock on, exploring the caves, exploring the shipwrecks, and just so much more. They have created the most intriguing underwater world I have found in any game at all. It is absolutely superb. As well as the main missions, there are plenty of side missions to keep you occupied. There is some fetch quests in there, but they do it in an entertaining way. But there's also other things as well, which will help you discover more things about the area, about the story, about the characters that you're interacting with. And speaking of the characters, I really got to know these people and really got to like them. They're ever so helpful to you in your quest. They do all serve an absolute purpose. You've got an archaeologist who's there for information, the guy who does your guns, I don't need to explain that one. A photographer, as you progress in the game you can take photographs at certain points and you get paid good money for the photographs as well. I will say the journalist was probably my least favourite character just because he whinges if you don't get all the pictures he asks for. But he's alright. You even get to play as some of these characters in some mini games. And these sections do serve to flush out the main story as well as just flush out the characters themselves, make them feel real, make them feel more involved and part of this world, which also is really tangible. All the mechanics fit into either with your quests or with successful running of the restaurant. This is ever such a minor spoiler. You can unlock the ability to farm for your vegetables and for your rice, but you have to go and maintain the farm. It's not just all done for you. It's never annoying, it never feels like a slog, it never feels like a bind. Every task is entertaining, every task is fun, and you get to see the payoff at the end. You get to see why you did it. It's all got a purpose behind it. And the ending, obviously I'm not going to tell you about it, but that's really bonkers, but really good. I absolutely love this game. I was ever so sceptical going into it. If it didn't have a free demo, I would never have tried it. And I would have missed out on one of the best gaming experiences I've had for a long time. I implore you, if you've got PC or Switch, because they're the only platforms this is on at the moment, please download the demo. Don't spend a penny of your money on my say-so. I wouldn't want to be responsible for that. Just download the free demo, and I'm fairly confident the majority of you will get hooked very quickly. I hope I've done this wonderful game justice, giving you a little bit of a pitch about what it's about. It is very intricate, it's very involved. To go through everything with you would be an hours long video. So I've just tried to highlight some of the key things in as short a way as I can. Hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope I've tempted you to play Dave the Diver. If you want to press like or subscribe to help me out in my tiny little YouTube channel, I would absolutely love that. If not, just thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Ta-da!